Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video on Alex Elliott Golf, and today's video is 3 shots you need to play your best golf. So what do you think they are? Before this video starts, comment down below what are the 3 shots you need in your Pacific golf game to help you lower your scores. I'm going to give you the 3 things that I think you all need to have in your golf game to play your best golf out on the golf course. Let's get straight into it. Before you do that, guys, don't forget, if you're a brand new viewer, hit that subscribe button down below and also hit the bell notification to not miss any other future content coming up on Alex Elliott Golf. Let's get straight into the video. So the first shot we need to have is a stock shot from the tee, or we could just classify that as a stock shot in general. So if you're someone who slightly fades it or draws it, let's learn to play that stock shot. Now, a lot of the time I hear people that, especially if they're a fader of the golf ball, they love to hit that draw, and sometimes they try and hit that draw and they may get into a catalogue of errors if they try and do so. So I want you to feel that if we've got a stock shot as a fade or as a draw, we're going to learn to love that stock shot out on the golf course. And if we're learning to love the stock shot, we're probably going to hit more fairways, or probably going to put ourselves in a bit of a better position. Now, if we don't really like that stock shot and it still hits the fairway, but the only thing that we're missing there is a bit of distance, that's something we can go ahead and work on the range. So simply, the first shot we need a stock shot. My stock shot is a little fade here, so I'm really going to try and feel I can aim up the left and allow that ball to curve back to the right, giving myself a chance to hit the fairway. Because if we look at it in terms of very much a members golf course or a members place where they play golf, if we're hitting more fairways, then generally we're going to be in less trouble. We're going to have more chance of then hitting the green, whether that be in regulation or that be in net regulation. So ultimately, we're going to play a better golf. We're going to give ourselves more opportunities rather than trying to hit it out the trees, chip out. Right, so first point number 1, the first shot we need is a stock shot from the tee. My stock shot's a fade. I really love to draw it consistently, but I know that if I aim down that left, I can hit that bullet fade, and ultimately, I'm going to be in a good place. And I think the fact that if you trust your stock shot, you're going to hit it a little bit further too. Come back, come back. Just missing that bunker. So, not as an ideal shot, as an okay, a little bit of a heely strike, but I'm in the fairway. I'm in a position where I can now advance that golf ball towards the green. And as soon as we learn to love our stock shot, whatever that might be, I really truly believe we're going to be in a better place. Right, let's get on to shot number 2. On to that second shot. So we know that we've got a stock shot from the tee that's going to really help us hit more fairways more consistently, giving us a better opportunity to hit that green in regulation or net regulation, whatever that might be. So what is the next shot we need? Now, this is something that I really believe that a lot of players don't do enough. I think we need that half shot with the short iron. So anything from 9-iron and below, we really need to be able to develop that feeling of a shorter half shot, more control. So ultimately, we're going to hit it closer with the clubs that we need to hit closer. So you could almost classify it as a punch shot, half shot, whatever you want to call it, with these shorter clubs. I've got 110 yards here to the flag, a little bit downhill. And I really believe that if we're someone who feels like it's a little bit shorter, a little bit more controlled, then generally we're going to hit it a little bit better in terms of strike. So if we're hitting it a little bit better in terms of strike, our distance control is going to be probably better. And ultimately, we're going to hit it closer to the flag. So how do we actually adopt this feeling to hit this shorter punch shot? Let's get straight into it. So if we're someone who gets this 110 yards and they pick out the sand wedge or pick out whatever club that might be and trying to hit it full out, I'm trying to say to you now, let's not hit that shot. Let's look for when we've got a shorter shot for a more controlled shot to match it. And if we use that rule of thumb, the closer we get to the green, let's be more controlled in the shot we're going to hit. So if we're off the tee, we can be a little bit more aggressive in terms of the pace of our swing and in terms of our setup. As we're getting closer to the green, let's feel like our setup matches that. Let's feel like we go a little bit more controlled. So second shot, the controlled shot with the shorter iron. So how are we going to play that? Firstly, what I would do is I would feel like I grip down slightly on this club. So I would, instead of going right at the end of the club, I would go down roughly about 1.5 inches. So we're right in the middle of this grip. So we're shortening the lever, basically making it a little bit more controllable. Place the club head down behind. I would then now try and feel that my width of stance is a little bit narrower than normal. This is going to really encourage me to swing this club a little bit shorter on the way back. And if we're a little bit wider, I think we associate that a little bit more with drivers. So it tends to, if we narrow the stance, we shorten the swing, but also we slow the speed. So a little bit of a narrow stance. I'm going to go just enough shoulder width apart. I'm going to start off by creating 2 parallel lines between my shoulders, my feet, okay, and my ball to target line. I'm going to start off keeping them all parallel. What I'm going to do is, whilst keeping my shoulders parallel to my ball to target line, I'm going to pull the left foot back slightly. What this does is this really helps me, one, clear the hips. We haven't got the speed and momentum like we would with driver, so it's almost preempting where we want to be. But also clearing this hip would actually reduce the chance of me making a longer backswing. So again, you can see here we're setting up factors in the address position which are really going to help me shorten the swing and ultimately give me a little bit more control. And the final thing I would love you to feel is favouring that left side 60-40, keeping that weight there throughout, and really feeling like we've got that dialed in, nice rhythm, controlled finish. Final position on the follow through, let's really feel like we hold and pose that shorter finish as opposed to swinging long and a little bit uncontrollable. So let's go away. Second shot is that shorter, more controlled shot, and don't forget this could be a 9-iron, 8-iron, pitching wedge, but I'm really trying to say to you, let's hit those wedge shots and shorter irons a little bit more controlled. Here we go. Nice shot, a little bit long in the finish. I was a little bit disappointed with that one. I felt like I could be a little bit shorter here. But ultimately, what I'm trying to feel here is that I'm a little bit short on the way back, more controlled, and I'm trying to control the speed of the delivery with what I'm doing at address. So remember those factors. Grip down slightly on the golf club. Ball we're going to keep in the middle of the stance, but we're going to feel that weight favours that left side. Keeping the shoulders parallel to the ball's target line, we're going to feel like we retract that left foot. Remember, this helps us with a few things. Reduces the backswing, but helps us clear those hips on the way through. And try and feel, and finally we're going to post that shorter finish, and really keep that post shorter finish, because that will encourage you to deliver the golf club at a slower speed. So there's number 1, stock shot off the tee. We've had number 2, which is a more controlled punch shot, half shot, whatever you want to call it, a more controlled shot with the shorter irons, less likely to be long and languid, a little bit more controlled. Let's head to the green to find out what the final shot is. So heading up to the green for the final shot, and now this is a shot that I think a lot of players are overlooking. We always see these guys play on tour, the big high shots, but don't forget the shots that we see on camera are the extravagant ones, the ones that the TV want you to see. But the professionals play the chip and run shot the best. They're a lot better at the chip and run shot than you actually believe, and they play it a lot more than you would believe. And I think a lot of people think they are good at this shot, but they aren't as good as they can be. And I don't think a lot of you guys who are watching this would actually play this shot as a rule of thumb. So I've got a shot here where I've got a lot of green. If I kind of looked at the green percentage to where I was in terms of rough, I've got 75% of green, 25% of rough. So here you can see I've not got a lot of things to cover, but I've got a lot of distance between myself and the flag from the fringe. So I can ultimately get that ball rolling like a putt a little bit quicker. And the more I've got that, the less chance of things to go wrong in the air. And if I said to you, if you could throw something on a 5p piece from 10 yards, or you could throw something on a 5p piece from 30 yards, what do you think is going to be the better chance of doing it? Comment down below, let me know what you think has answered that question. Let's get into the final shot that we actually all need to play some better golf, and actually the shot that's mostly overlooked, the chip and run. So the final shot we all need to play better golf, the chip and run. The shot that I actually think is really overlooked by a lot of players, whatever level that might be. And I really think that people overlook it because they don't see the guys on tour playing it so much. So, like I said here, we've got 25% of rough / fringe fairway to go over, and we've got 75% of green. So my aim here is to get this ball rolling as soon as I can. I'm going to do everything in my setup to help me do that. Now, I could play this 2 ways. One way, loft it up into the air, land it near the flag and hope it stops, and really, ultimately, really put myself at risk of trying to feel like I get the exact contact I'm trying to get. Or I could play the little bit more of a simpler one, underarm throw style, trying to land it just on the green and let it roll up to the flag. I know which one I like the sound of. It sounds and looks a little bit easier. So how do we play that? So let's talk about some simple setups and just simple feelings we can do to play this simple chip and run. So firstly, I like to feel, I use the lambkin, so I use the L for my left thumb, L to left thumb and hands on. So I'm gripping down this golf club. From here, I'm going to feel like the shaft is a little bit more up on its end, so I would scoot myself a little bit closer, Ball position is just going to favour the right half of my stance for a right-handed player. I'm going to keep, to begin with, my shoulders and my feet parallel to my ball to target line. But what I want you to do now is I want you to feel like you're going to pull the left foot back and you're going to put the weight slightly forward. This is going to really help me clear those hips on the way through and get in that ideal position. Finally, the really nice simple feeling is that I'm going to feel like my thumbs stay down throughout. So I'm going to call it the thumbs down shot, the chip and run shot. Weight left, mirror the thumbs down, feel like it's all in one piece, and we're really looking to feel that we get a bruising action on that golf ball. We're not looking to dig, we're not looking to scoop, and everything that we've done in our setup will really help us get a nice brushing action and that ball running out. Okay, so I've got my 50-degree wedge here. Let's hit this one away. Club in, L to L, scoop myself a little bit closer, pull the left foot back whilst keeping the shoulders parallel, weight on the left, L to L. Picture that landing zone. So there we go, a nice chip and run shot to finish off the 3 shots we need to play better golf. Started with the stock shot, we finished with the chip and run, and I really want to use the rule of thumb. We know how to play that chip and run shot now. The rule of thumb I would use when trying to pick out what shot to play is, right, okay, place the ball on the first available flat spot or 2 to 3 yards on the green, and this will really help you select that club to allow that ball to run out. So guys, thank you for watching today's video on Alex Elliott Golf. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and see you next time on Alex Elliott Golf.